Thank you so much for joining us on the Clear Pod. If you want to tell me who you are and how you're involved with high science.
Who am I? I'm a walrus.
Go right ahead, stranger.
I am Richard Batenburg, CEO of Clear Cannabis, featuring the Clear and the Clear brands.
And I am Patrick Hackett, showrunner for the television show High Science.
And I guess I'm in the show. So, and we had to force Patrick to be in front of the camera because we've been working together on this thing for
A long time.
years.
I haven't been there around that long.
Years?
For you, yes. It's been
3.
2.5 for me. Two and a bunch.
Dude, we were in Massachusetts with
22.
Brandon in 22.
Yeah.
25 in a
Yeah.
10-day.
Two and some change. We're not
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
we're not quite to 3 yet.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. But it's been so much fun.
And episode 1, 2, and 3 are out. How has that experience been watching it? What are your thoughts on those 3 episodes?
I mean,
what are your thoughts? You've only seen it 4 million times in the
That's
edit room.
what I was going to say, is that I've watched this thing a million times. I've literally watched this thing a million times. So, it's nice to see it now polished and complete. Once it goes through color, I finally start seeing like shots that I've looked at for hours upon hours that are like coming to life. So like putting the final pieces together, it's like watching it for the first time. There's some newness to it to see it complete. So I do have a sense of joy, and I do have a sense of excitement every time they release on Wednesday evenings. I watch with everybody, and now it's at the
Answer questions. What'd you do that for, Patrick?
and answer questions. Now it's some. Now I mean I know the show by heart. Like I can see a clip and tell you what's going on in it. I know it so well. But what's most exciting to me now is seeing people's reactions to it, and seeing people excited about it, and seeing people responsive to it, and seeing people get either information out of it, or excitement out of it, or joy out of it, or just sparking some curiosity. So for me, that's exciting.
Have you been watching it at 4:20 Pacific on Wednesday?
I have been.
And
yes.
have you been in the chat?
I've been in the chat.
How come you're not writing it, or you have one of those goofy names?
No,
I'm the only idiot with my actual name there.
Honestly, I haven't put in the chat, so I don't know what my name is on there. It probably comes up as my name because that's my login.
Swanky P.
Definitely not Swanky P. But no, I haven't said anything. I will make a point of it to introduce myself and say something tomorrow when we want, or whenever you see this, for episode 4. And
Episode 4 premieres tomorrow, which is is it the 11th?
The 11th.
Tomorrow? The 11th at 4:20 Pacific. So by the time this airs, we're going to be beyond that. But, I have been on when I was able to be on, and, maybe somewhat stupidly, put that I was there. And of course, it's my name.
Yeah.
That was definitely dumb.
The last week's was my favorite because somebody was pitching you to come by their grow.
No, he wants investment. Hey, you know what? I actually I tried to DM him, or I had to figure out how to do that. He's in Missouri. He wants to do a micro license, and he's looking for an investor for a cultivation facility.
Yeah.
Like
shoot your shot.
The pitch came. Yeah. I mean, good for him. I like that initiative.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of, the reason we did the show, right, was to get deal flow and educate. And so I'm not against it. Should I take my real name off?
No, I don't think so, because it sparks moments like that. And also,
well, and I get the trolls though get to, they get to ring me up and, Dabber 721. I don't know what
Yeah.
the hell that is.
Yeah.
You know? And I kind of want to engage with them, and I know,
Yeah, there's a lot that I
from
hold back.
watching, were you a West Wing fan at all?
Mhm.
Okay. That one series of episodes where Josh Lyman starts engaging with the audience, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
I every time I go to type something, I remember that, and I'm like, don't do it. Just
Yeah.
don't do it. Just if you only say nice things, and do not get offended by the people
Yeah,
watching.
you can't feed the trolls. And that's the other thing is that you can't live on the internet and not expect a few bruises, at least to the ego, because there's so much shit slinging on the internet.
Yeah.
That it's just, I mean,
There were a few brutal comments on the first episode.
yeah, there were.
But what I found interesting, and I was saying this to you earlier, so
Somebody called out shaky cam, and I'm gonna come find that person.
Yeah.
Because there's no shaky cam in there.
Well,
Whatever your name is, somebody look that up because I'm coming to find you.
there was a whole bunch of comments about MSOs suck and you need to be local, and I'm like, did you put some versions out without sound? Because the
No,
whole damn show, from our perspective, is about finding local partners. So for that person, please turn the sound up and actually listen. I'll take the constructive criticism, but
yeah,
we are not a MSO. We're a multi-state brand, and we work with local producers and growers, and it's the whole point.
just like a franchise, can't
Yeah.
call it that because we're not federally legal.
There was like 5 or 6 of those comments. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
So anyway,
I mean it's kind of my favorite
hey,
part, but not
I'm
really.
just glad people are watching.
Exactly. And thank you for watching. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, tell your
Share,
friends.
smash that subscribe
If
button.
you hate it, tell 10 friends. I mean, we need people subscribing.
Yeah,
There's lots of fun stuff coming.
there is.
You know.
I'm very excited about the upcoming episodes. We've got episode 4 is a slight departure from some of the format and style of the other episodes. This one really dives into the medical efficacy of cannabis. So it's a little bit more heartfelt, where you really get to see the impact that
Oh,
cannabis
that's the
has had.
stories.
Yeah.
Is that number 4?
That's
So
number
that's
4.
coming to what is tomorrow today, but by the time
So,
you see this, it will be up.
yeah, so that
Yeah,
one,
there's
there's some,
some pretty heart-wrenching stuff.
yeah, that's a good episode. It's just it's a slight deviation from like the fun and quirkiness that we have in
Yeah, me and Rick and Monica aren't in it that much.
yeah. Yeah. See, you guys aren't in it and we lose all the fun.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No fun. No, that's and what I liked about that episode, and I haven't seen the finished, but like you said, I was going to say earlier, you talked about color correction and sound sweetening and all that. I'm really glad that you're doing the color correction because my hair looks good all the way through. It's not changing, turning gray and stuff.
Yeah, and I watch them in like an unsaturated the technical term. I watch them in log, with no color whatsoever. It looks like almost like black and white and very flat, and that's what I've been watching it for over a year.
Yeah.
So it's almost like when I see the LUT put on it and I see the color kind of come to it, it's like that moment in Wizard of Oz where
Right,
everything
right.
comes to
Suddenly,
color. And
yeah.
I was like, whoa,
Yeah. What
this
we
show
need,
looks good.
what we need, I need like Mojo and Dane though to tell me that my hair has fallen down because there's a bunch of shots where, we had no,
Yeah, we
no
blame the
focus
vanities
on my
department.
hair. So I've started like wearing hairspray all the time now.
Well,
It changed my life, Patrick.
you're welcome.
I'm spraying my hair. It's like crazy. Yeah. So anyway, the medical stories I think are really great, and it really shows why we got into this. Why almost everybody in the show
Yeah.
who's in it got into it. in particular the manufactured product side of things, where we're trying to get consistency. So speaking of medical, when does Canham appear? Is that episode
Episode 4.
4? Okay, so
Canham's in episode 4. We follow Stu and his little kind of journey around the country, um, opening up their clinic and looking for product for the advancement of their study.
right, right.
So that's all episode 4. You can learn more about Canham and Warrior Tribe, the Veterans Association, helping veterans get access to cannabis medications. Megan, Erica, and Canna Provisions are in episode 4. Stu visits them. Yeah, 4 is a great little episode.
Stu comes here and he
He
visits.
does come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we end back here. Also in episode 4 is the introduction of William High, Dr. William High. Excuse me. Let me give him his honorific.
Yes.
Yes. In the science break. So
science break.
Stay tuned
That's
for
your brainchild, right? That was you.
Dr. William High.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
but I mean, that was you created that.
Yeah, we created that.
Yeah.
100%. Me and the post team, everybody at Milk House is fantastic. I really could not have gotten through this without them. They are just real geniuses at putting together material that's just a hodgepodge of things and helping us craft story.
Because we did not have real actors.
And sometimes you got to take 10 takes.
Yeah. At least.
At least.
What other, we just yapped away there, Monica. What
are inquiring minds wanting to know?
Right.
Specifically, like a look back at episode 1, 2, and 3, because that's what's already come out.
Oh yeah, that was the original question, right? We just
we
passed that.
What surprised you, or what, like for Rich, like what didn't make it that you thought was going to be in it, or what for Patrick, for you, what specifically about those episodes was hard? Where was there like an obstacle that you overcame?
So I think you'd kept one away from me for a long time, right?
I had the hardest time trying to figure out how
5 and 6
do it.
One was and I think it was the right thing to do, because one was basically, having worked in the business and made television and film from behind the camera. I was excited to see episode 1 because that's where you introduce all the characters. So, obviously worried about how I was going to get introduced, honestly, and you, Monica, and Rick in particular, right? Our group of people, and how we would set up the various vignettes, because there's a lot of characters that come and go in our orbit. That is the high science, the show. So the first time I saw it, I was really pleased. I was more impressed with the production value and the look, and and some of the scenes that are in that one were shot a long time ago.
Yeah.
So seeing the way that Patrick and his team put everything together, I think was really, it was fun to see it finally come together. And it was really great to see that it's very professional. We had a lot of fun making it, obviously, all along the many years that we've been doing it. So when you see the finished product, we didn't know, because it's reality is you get what you get, right? And
Yeah.
Rick and his team has done a great job of sewing together what I think is interesting and setting up the characters. And, Monica, of course, came off great because she just looks great, and, she's the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Rick and I are the goofballs, so.
Yeah, I don't know how you have the show without Monica.
Yeah.
She's the true star.
But I mean, so apart from seeing it color corrected and sound sweetened and effects and
Yeah.
all that, I'm assuming the post house did that. You gave them direction. The post house did, and then you come in and go, "Well, shit."
Yeah, they I mean, they're more than just button pushers, that they don't just like do exactly what I say. They have a lot of freedom to help try to craft and mold, and they also really help me because they only see the footage. They don't see like all the other stuff with the other conversations, and just have so much information in their head that they're carrying all that around, and then so they're not they can divorce themselves from all of that and just kind of distill down. They're like, this is an interesting bit, this is an interesting bit, this is an interesting bit, and they're like,
Now, how do we put it all together?
yeah, exactly. And so episode 1 is probably the hardest episode for me to put together, because it's the first one out of the gate, and like you said, I have to introduce all of the characters. um I have to introduce the industry at large, um, of kind of like where we are and where we came from, and also kind of set the trajectory of the show. Like, what is this season going to be about? Um, and so those are three very hard things to do. I had to really get the other episodes kind of fleshed out and cut until I knew exactly how I wanted to navigate the season. And then I could go back and be like, okay, these are the signposts that I need to plant in episode 1.
Right. You got to set this up, there, or
Yeah,
down the road doesn't make any sense.
exactly. And to set you up for something that, like, okay, we have something here, and then there will be more coming later that dovetails off of that or builds off of that or is a part 2 of that or something. So that one was really difficult, trying to set it all up and push the series off the cliff, so it just starts to fall into line. And then the second hardest one is the last one. Like, how do I wrap all this up and say, like, this is what we did in this season, and this is what we accomplished, and this is where we're going. So that's probably the second hardest.
Right.
Is kind
The
of
cliffhanger.
wrapping it all up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I thought you did a great job of getting us all in there and kind of showing the top layer of the personalities,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, it's going to get more dynamic, and I think it already has through episode 3. But in episode 2, that was, I think that's going to be one of the more favorite ones for the audience because you get to see the grows,
Yeah.
which, and, I've been doing this now for 12, 13 years in the legal market. And it never happens that people aren't excited to go into the grow.
Yeah.
It's just nobody has ever gone into
Yeah.
bonsai and went, I mean, you see those huge plants and
Yeah, I could live at bonsai.
and I like that one because I get to have a lot of fun with Rick and Monica on the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You
And
shouldn't give away the gags, but
yeah, that one's fun. I mean, that's an easy entry point into the industry, right? Because that's when most people think of owning a cannabis company. The first thing they think of is a grow.
Well, like I said,
And there's people who
somebody got to grow weed.
exactly, and a lot of companies don't have their own grows. They are buying weed from other people. They don't find that to be a part of the business that they are either good at or want to spend the money on. So, um, it is a little bit more complicated than just growing weed. So I find that to be a good entry point. And then the other thing about it is the other episodes are, if that's not your entry point, the other ones will be. So kind of going into the retail, to the dispensary aspect of it, or the medical aspect of it, or later down the line, we start learning about all the new products, the new formats. So one of those places is your entry point, and I hope everybody finds their way into the series.
Right on. So do I.
Thank you for your time.
You got any other questions? We good. Thank you. Everybody watch.
Tomorrow.